welcome to the fire element, heart and small intestine meridians. And at this time, we're going to go over the primary aspects and influences of the fire element so that when we practice, you know exactly what energies you are working on during your practice and what things you can influence in your body, mind, and spirit by doing the fire element vinyasa flow. So grab your PDF, follow along, and we'll cover heart and small intestine, fire element. So the fire element in the Chinese medicine 5-element system rules circulation. It houses the Shen, or our spirit, which can also be thought of as our authentic self, opens us to love and compassion for ourself first and then to others. The primary relationship is with the self. All the other ones have been outer relationships. This one brings the relationship back in with ourselves. The primary need of the mind is to love and be loved, which is the base need for everyone. Emotional opposites are joy and sorrow. The energy is sourced from the 4th chakra, Anahat. And the time of day for the heart is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and small intestine 1 to 3 p.m. Now for these two, the time of day, mostly the imbalances show up at night. So if you're waking at night between 11 a.m. and 1 or 1 to 3, that could be either liver gallbladder imbalance, or it could also be a heart and small intestine imbalance, because that is the time, it's the opposite time, right? Because the time of day when the energies are the strongest is midday, but the time of energy when it's the lowest is in the middle of the night. So if you find that you're waking at night, it could be, like I said, liver and gallbladder, or it could be heart and small intestine that there's an imbalance in, or it could be a combination of both, which oftentimes in the clinic there is. It's usually not just one thing. It's multiple things, of course. So now let's cover how the heart is related to the 4th chakra. The heart and the 4th chakra complex connects and integrates the lower 3 chakras to the upper 3. So the lower 3 more related to the physical world, the upper more related to the spirit world. As inspiration from the upper 3 chakras pass through the heart center, we can identify whether it truly has hearted meaning for us. If so, we can then begin bringing our inspirations into form by accessing the energies in the lower 3 chakras. This is most effective if one can let go of the influence of the mind and listen deeply to the heart. So this is a really important aspect of manifesting in our lives what we really want. Now, if it's driven by the mind, sure, you can make that happen, but what's really going to give us joy in our lives is when we create from a heart-centered place. The heart center is involved with the ability to give and receive unconditional love and compassion in equal measure. With a healthy balance between giving and receiving love, we're able to express ourselves with an open and trusting heart, rather than with control and possessiveness. Now that can be a fine line, and it can also be who you're in relationship with to make that trust versus control a little bit more challenging or a little bit easier, depending on who you're in relationship with. Small intestine and the 4th chakra, the yang element of the heart, or of the fire element, heart and small intestine. Heart is the yin, small intestine is the yang. So in the 4th chakra, the small intestine is the conduit from the heart to the world and from the world to the heart. It dictates our ability to perceive and communicate with clarity our highest truth and the truth of others. It can sort out information according to our wounds if there is an imbalance, or our triumphs when there is balance. Imbalance here leads to confusion and misinterpretation of our own and others' intentions. This is the key to how we perceive ourselves in relationship to our environment. If we let the mind and our wounded heart rule, our heart will never be satisfied and content. So, one of the aspects of the heart, and we don't really cover it in the 5-element series, but there's a couple of other meridians that are associated with the fire element, the triple burner and the pericardium, and those are all associated with the fire element, associated with the heart. So the heart basically not only has one other primary paired meridians, but two other. Pericardium considered as the heart protector, and the triple burner manages the energy between the lower and the upper chakras. So there are multiple energies protecting and balancing the heart, and that just emphasizes how important this particular energy is to our overall well-being. And the more protections we develop over our heart, the more it is difficult to communicate with people directly and to perceive intentions clearly. Because if our heart is wounded, then we're going to be perceiving those communications from a sense of protection and not a sense of openness. And typically, or in many traditions, I should say, the whole goal of meditation and spiritual practice is to allow the heart to blossom, the heart to open, those protections to fall away, and allow the heart to be the leader in our life and in our relationships and the choices that we make. So, symptoms or imbalances that are directly related to the heart and small intestine are circulatory problems, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, dizziness, constriction in the chest, coronary artery disease, high or low blood pressure, restlessness, anxiety, insomnia, and poor memory. So those are the typical associations with imbalances that may show up when the heart energy is a little bit low or imbalanced. All right, so next we will go ahead and I'll take you through the practice for the fire element, and I'll see you on the mat.